Happy Wednesday and welcome back to another exciting adventure of the Rocketeer Minute, where each and every day, Monday through Friday, we go over 1 minute of the greatest adventure movie Walt Disney ever made, the 1991 Joe Johnston-directed feature, The Rocketeer. I'm one of your hosts, Jim O'Kane of TVDads.com.
And I'm Hal Bryan, the airplane nerd from the Experimental Aircraft Association here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And Jim, as promised yesterday, we're welcoming back Royana Black.
Hi.
There she is again.
I don't know what that voice was. That was so weird.
It was
a good
line. It was high.
It. Yes.
Yeah, it was very nice. Yes. Okay, let's take it again from Royana's entrance. And Royana, what I want you to think about this time.
Oh my God, I'm getting notes on my podcast.
Well, podcasting is
what does
very
my career come
business.
To? More intensity. We need. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, faster, more intense. The George Lucas School of Direction.
Oh God.
But it's all. This is the future. This is the future of entertainment. Just people.
I'll take it.
People with these earbuds looking out the window, going, "Why am I listening?"
And it's in terrible hands, if you don't mind me saying so.
Think of
I disagree.
All those people shoveling laundry into their dryers at the laundromat and having their earbuds stuck in there listening to this, going, I really picked this particular podcast. There's millions of them out there. So, but yeah, we are back in the diner at the Bulldog, watching a soup covered Jenny Blake gently smiling as she's dabbing in her water glass to get rid of the impossible task of getting rid of tomato soup from that white pinafore, while Cliff Secord, our hero, licks a toy airplane wheel and hands it back to a 10-year-old girl. So that's entertainment right there.
And Royana was debating as to whether or not that was attractive.
I've decided since yesterday's episode it is not. I thought about the 10-year-old girl part, and you're right. It is simply just to clean the wheel.
Which in itself is also
apparently no napkin. I know. Right. I heard it come out of my mouth, Al.
Okay. She's got her wheel cleaned.
Moving on. Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Things happen. They really do.
The thing that I like Jennifer Connelly's acting here is that she thought this out about how to deal with a real impossible boyfriend who takes, it's like, what are we going to do? Well, let's go over to the place where I work and we'll go and eat with all the people that I work with because I just can't leave the job I'm working at. And she's just trying to come up with the nicest way of saying, hey, here's something that could be your idea.
Yes, she is very delicate about that.
Yeah, she really is. Sometime maybe away from the airfield, and then of course he's comes back with the Copa, the Brown Derby. Interesting that he mentions the Copa. Like, are they going to fly to New York apparently for dinner? But
there's a place up in Burbank that's really popular. That was a hamburger joint that everybody used to go to, and I can't remember the name of it. Royana, you might know.
Not hamburger.
It's not
Hamburger Hamlet. No.
No. It was like the Chateau or something, or the Swiss Chalet or one of those. It'll hit me right after we finish.
I may have mentioned in the last podcast that I was a cheap date.
Yes.
So
you didn't go to Hamburger Hamlet.
I perhaps didn't go there.
But yeah, I don't know where it is, but I'm sure. But yes, well, all they're talking about is trying to line up in this situation. They're trying to line up the idea that there is a place called the South Seas, which there wasn't. But they're trying to say that the South Seas Club is along the lines of the Brown Derby.
Or even better, really, because that's the one that comes in third.
Yeah.
Why not the South Seas Club while you're dreaming? Oh. Yeah. And it's so nice when she comes back and says, we'll go have a real night on the town after you win the Nationals. And again, she supports his career and he repeatedly insults hers.
He's a jerk.
It's pretty much what it is.
He's just a dude.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I do like all the whiplash that the boys at the counter get. It's like, oh, this isn't going to end well. And then, like everything they're thinking as they roll down the camera rolls down the aisle, it all just falls out of Malcolm's mouth.
Right. Exactly.
Whoa.
And Margot Martindale steps in Millie. She's trying so hard to just shut him up. Here's some coffee. Here's anything. Put this in your face. She could have just given him the wheel.
Yeah.
Why don't you suck on the wheel for a minute, Malcolm, and shut up? But he does not. He does not take the hint.
Wow. And I didn't realize until this moment that he works for Bigelow.
Oh, sure. That's right on the back of his coveralls. We noticed that in that scene, wasn't it? So.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right.
He's actually a Bigelow employee. Which gives me pause to wonder does Peavy work for Bigelow? I mean, as a contractor he does, because he's working, they do the clown act and all that jazz. It never hit me that Malcolm is a Bigelow employee. How many people are directly employed by Bigelow? Do we know?
That's a good question. I don't know if we really ever get a strong sense for it. How many people work for him versus, just people who are wandering up who are helping out at the air show. How many are independent? I don't think we know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Skeets works for him or Goose. I think Skeets and Goose are like hired hands that hang out at the airfield and work for. I don't think Peavy works for Bigelow. I think Peavy rents space in the hangar.
Yeah, I think Peavy's totally independent.
Yeah, I mean he's a mechanic who does work on Pratt and Whitney and I forget who the Curtis, right? There's a Curtis ad up on top, so he might do some work as part of Bigelow's stuff.
Right, probably works on would work on a little bit of everything and would be the local tinkerer.
Wow, that never struck me. And of course I've seen him, see Malcolm. He only has the A uniform. He doesn't. Well, this and the clown. Well, that's later. We'll talk about that later.
Yes, the clown suit is always a spoiler, Jim.
Yes.
Remember that. Never.
Yeah, but he's still in his A.
And
costume.
that poor gasoline truck.
Yeah.
Yes. One after another.
Now I have a question. The first guy, I can't be certain of this. The first guy in the row with the hat, is that Joe Johnston?
Oh my gosh! I am just now scrubbing to second 25.
I swear that's Joe Johnston.
Yes, it is.
No, really?
I'm sure of it. You look at pictures of him at the time. Number one, he's never been photographed smiling, apparently ever.
Really?
And,
is that like the thing?
I don't know if it's a real thing or not. We at some point, sometime soon, we'll ask somebody who knows him.
Yeah, I think we'll ask somebody who knows.
Yeah, and we will mention that. But you know what? You look at second 24, 25. He's turning. He's looking just before the panning starts.
Yeah, I think that's our Hitchcock moment there.
I think that is.
That is Joe. I'm 80 to 85% sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Good eye, guys.
Wow.
And Royana, you were here for this.
Yeah.
I know. I'm literally like,
gosh,
what did you just call it? Scrubbing? Yeah, I'm doing that too.
It's like the moon landing. Yeah, it's just wow.
Yes, it's
one
it's
small
just
step.
Like
and heaven knows who's cooking the hamburgers.
I know that
could be one of the Gordon brothers.
It's probably Neil Armstrong back there actually cooking hamburgers.
Could be, but wow. Oh, there we go.
Chuck Yeager played a janitor in The Right Stuff, so who knows?
Watching this.
Really?
Yeah. He's in The Right Stuff. He's in the bar with Poncho Barnes. If you watch that film. Wow, I feel we had a breakthrough here today with that. That was very exciting.
I feel like the progress we didn't quite make on your miserable date story from yesterday. I feel like this is the catharsis we've been waiting for.
Yeah, there we are. It's closure. Wow.
Somehow.
That is stunning.
And we've talked about that guy on the end before too, and we've just neither of us have ever picked up on it.
But I don't think the guy at the end is the same guy that was working with the GB at the beginning of the movie.
No, he's not that guy. But I just think in this scene it seems like we've got three guys we know and then Pat guy.
Okay, we're gonna have to shake the trees with our people who know Joe to find out if that really is him.
Right. Send out a screen grab.
Wow. Now
that is really cool.
As our resident professional actor person that you under SAG rules, how do you fit into a movie like that? Do you need a waiver? If you're not saying anything, you're just an extra, right? And so you don't really need to be.
You are an extra, and you can be a SAG extra, but you don't have to be.
Oh, okay.
I think they make more money, SAG extras. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to be. And I feel like back in the day there used to be a way if you did enough extra work, you could get like vouchers, I think, and that eventually you could get into SAG that way.
Oh, okay.
Honest to God, I could have just made that all up.
Yeah,
but I think that's the way it used to work.
Well, I mean, how does it work? Do you just like send in an application and then does your production company send it in for you? How did you get your SAG card? Let me put it that way. How did you wind up getting a SAG card?
I did a Kodak commercial with Jamie Gertz when I was 10.
Really?
Yeah, who was also lovely. I've been very fortunate. And the way it works with SAG, again, I think this is still the case, but if you are affiliated with the SAG production, I think you can work once, and then for your second job, they make you join.
Oh, okay.
So I got it. I think I just got it from that one because why not?
Yeah.
I was optimistic about my career then, and I thought I'd work more, and I did.
You did.
And then
did
stopped, and then I stopped.
Yeah, well,
But
you found other interests.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I was just wondering if it was the other way around, that it's like, no, you can't work on this thing because you don't have a SAG card. It's more like, no, we're going to hire you, so you better sign up because we're going to use you in this one.
Although that also apparently has gotten harder over the years. They used to Taft-Hartley people, which I think the production company would then pay your initiation. Somebody will correct me when they listen to this podcast because I may not be right, but it's something like that. And I think now they don't do that as much because it's expensive. And I mean, it ain't cheap to join a union.
Yeah.
I think the initiation is like $2,500 or something.
Woof.
Wow.
Which is funny when you worked one job and they're like, give us money.
Yeah. And there isn't any Kodak anymore. So it's just like, wow.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
Now, I don't think we want to go too far down this road, but I'm always curious. I mean, SAG is the kind of thing that you, as you said, it's just to work on any production that is a SAG production, you simply have to be a member, just period. Are you getting, it's not as if they're helping you find the work. Is that true?
It is true. I mean, the thing about all of these guys is they're really guilds. They're not unions.
Okay.
So it's slightly different. I love SAG-AFTRA. I think they're great. They really do offer a lot of protections, which is huge because actors are so willing to be taken advantage of for work.
Sure.
That if
working
SAG
for
weren't
exposure,
around,
for example.
exactly. And work. I mean, seriously, we'd all work 24 hours a day for $1.50.
Oh yeah.
So it's good that they're there for that. And they do actually do a very good job policing stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jackie Coogan. All that is directly related
Yeah.
to SAG, and
sure.
it's basically from the abuse. Especially when you think about how many kids are in this business. And just things like having the on-set schooling, and you went through that. You were taught at on set and things like that with tutors. And stuff, so.
I had to get there 3 hours earlier before everybody else on set every morning to get my schoolwork done.
Yeah.
And there's, they limit the number of hours you can work when you're a kid, which is also really smart.
Yeah.
Because
we'll
do anything.
Yeah. I mean, look at America Martin's in this one. She's, Patsy in this thing. So they had to she kind of disappears. If you notice, she just goes in and out of this picture, and it's like, wait, what happened to the little girl? And she was there for her 2 scenes. Then when they reset the cameras, she's not anywhere in sight. So.
Yeah. And I have to say, as a kid too, I mean, I know there are stage parents. My parents weren't, but I also think one of the reasons that they were very comfortable sort of dropping me off wherever I worked was that they knew that there was a union rep somewhere nearby, or my agent was there. Like I wasn't really going to get into a ton of trouble.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to be obnoxious and annoying. They were amazing.
Oh yeah. And just being, and they probably had peace of mind knowing that there were professional people watching out for you and making sure that your needs were taken care of and that you were being, you weren't going to wander off set and things.
Exactly.
So Jim, it's funny you mentioned you brought up Poncho Barnes a moment ago, and I did have to double check dates, but I was fairly sure of this. So she helped form the I think it was the Association of Motion Picture Stunt Pilots, which was actually one of the first unions in Hollywood. Actually predates SAG by about 2 years.
Wow.
No way.
So. And that was a big deal in some of those movies because you had these pilots coming in and doing, flying scenes. Of course, no CG and model work wasn't really in vogue in the very early 30s. We saw a little bit of it, but you have somebody doing the most, sort of amazing, quite literally sort of death-defying thing in an airplane, and then the director says, that was great, but do it faster and come closer to the ground, or in some cases even actually crashing airplanes was not that uncommon. Flying into a barn and things like that. And some of these pilots were getting pretty banged up. So Poncho was there with people like, I think Frank Tallman was probably around back then. Roscoe Turner was big at that point. But one of the very first unions in Hollywood was actually for the pilots.
And Poncho Barnes did that. She was amazing. It's an incredible, every time you hear something about her, there's just a little bit more that she did this and she did
right.
A stunning. Why there isn't a movie about her is kind of a little beyond me.
Well, there is, and it's the worst casting I think in all of human history. If you'll forgive the hyperbole, Valerie Bertinelli plays Poncho Barnes, And when people who knew Poncho described how she looked, it was everybody loved her to death. And she was, I think she was, if anything, even underrated as a pilot. Tremendous early pilot. But, Chuck Yeager, I think the nicest thing he ever said about her was that she looked kind of like a chewed up old shoe. And then you've got, Valerie Bertinelli coming in, this, cute little button nose thing. Just couldn't be more wrong for the part. And so it's kind of a lower budget film, and there's, lots of anachronisms, sort of the wrong airplanes and things. It's still a charming movie. And if you're interested in Poncho Barnes, that's worth seeing. But, if you really want to learn, go check out I think it's called The Legend of Poncho Barnes and the Happy Bottom Riding Club, a documentary, which has a lot of original audio of hers. Much, much more interesting stuff. And this was an absolutely amazing woman, and aviation would not be anything like what it is, I think, without her as a character in it. End of rant.
Wow. That's super cool. I didn't know any of that stuff about her.
Wow, it is amazing. And the thing is, back then it wasn't gender specific. I mean, she was great on her own. You didn't have to use the qualifier woman about her. She was
right.
She was a great aviator, and she also fought for her fellow pilots. And just it was a stunning time. The camaraderie that went on back then is just amazing. It still continues today. That people in on the frontiers of this stuff. We've talked with some of these people that are going to be coming up in future episodes, but there's just such an incredible camaraderie about these people facing dangerous seat of the pants flying and things like that, and creating new technologies. But they all watch out for each other, and it's nice knowing that this stuff going on back then in the 30s is still happening today. That there's a lot of collaboration and a lot of watching each other's backs.
Absolutely,
that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I feel like our work on this planet is done, Jim.
Yeah, I think we've
You guys, I've learned so much this whole episode. Happy. Like, my mind is completely blown right now.
Wow.
I learned about Bigelow. I learned about Joe Johnson. I can't even process all of it.
Wow.
And I sound like I'm being sarcastic, and I'm actually not.
I want soup. I really want tomato soup
soup
with rice and.
I've got a wheel. You can lick it off if you.
I have to lick some wooden wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta lick the wheel.
But poor Jenny there. I keep feeling for her, trying to come up with some way of getting. She's trying to be nice, and she just missed the part about him almost dying out in the middle of nowhere, and it all falls down on Cliff's shoulders. I mean, that's the problem. He's the failure in this relationship, and although I don't know.
And, Malcolm is not helping.
No.
Not whatsoever. Malcolm does not have Cliff's back.
No, and look, let's face it, Margot does a lovely job of telling the little girl to say no.
Yeah.
Earlier in the earlier minute. She couldn't,
that's true.
Hit Malcolm.
Well,
she couldn't,
Yeah, she slaps him with a fly swat, or no,
a wooden spoon.
A wooden spoon, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't do any good. She's got to keep hitting him.
No.
Well,
obviously.
She should have used the frying pan. She's in a kitchen. It's a frying pan is what you do.
Knock him out.
Yeah. I just like the way he keeps gesturing with the soup. He's eating his own soup, and he's like waving the spoon around and holding the bowl up while he's chatting about what happened to poor old Cliff out there on the runway. It's good acting.
And I'm wondering what that is in Malcolm's pocket. He's got a ballpoint pen and then something next to that.
Oh, I think that's a rule. It's a carpenter's rule.
Okay? Carpenter's rule. That's what it folds up. Yeah, that would make sense. For some reason, I was thinking it was a cardboard box with a Hohner harmonica in it. And I have no idea why. I had this peculiar, specific, almost sort of romantic idea what that is. But I think you're right.
That is oddly specific.
Yeah.
Oddly specific.
He is wearing one of the earliest leisure suits, I think. That's just the different colored pockets and all that. But
yeah, that's true. The different colored collar.
Yeah.
And of course,
those are kind of cool. I gotta say, I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah,
leisure suits or coveralls like what Malcolm is wearing.
The ones that Malcolm's wearing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. With the word Bigelow, I see cosplay right here. This is a Comic-Con situation. I can easily. I've got the hair for that. I can.
Oh, you could totally pull it off.
I could pull that one off. I could just get
100%.
Are you willing to shave the mustache?
I don't know. That's like Samson and Delilah. I don't know. I can't. I could go to the pencil sized ones and do the Neville Sinclair. I want to get one of those. I want to get one of those Laughing Bandit wigs. That might be my cosplay, being the Laughing Bandit.
Historically, every September we have a big band come into our aviation museum, and it's all lit, and we do a big sort of gala 40s hangar dance sort of thing with all the old airplanes around and all this, and I MC that, and that's my shtick, is that whatever facial hair I happen to be sporting at the time goes down to the pencil thin mustache, and the white tux comes out, and all that sort of thing.
Awesome.
So look like I'm in, Club Obi-Wan. I actually, I don't know why I feel like confessing this right now, since after the harmonica incident, but this is definitely the time. I own they still make, and I own a tube of Brill cream that comes out once a year for this same event. And it's ridiculous. You just goop it up into your hair, and then suddenly you have an instant helmet.
Wow.
You're officially a cool person.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Wow.
That makes my day.
Not everybody has Brill cream, my friend.
Well,
that's pretty awesome.
It's there for emergencies.
A little dabble, do you? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I think we've covered everything there is possible to cover in this minute. I don't even know if anybody's listening anymore. We've probably worn their batteries down. But
we're shouting.
They're sitting in traffic. Who are you kidding?
Going, what am I saying?
Right.
What am I doing here? Yeah, what's going on at the Gremlins Minute is out there too. You can go look at we've got a whole bunch of the movies by minute things, and there's lots of other things to talk about. But we're going to keep talking about the Rocketeer Minute here.
It's such a good movie.
It's fun. You can plug it in any time and just go right through to the end. If it comes on TV, which it hardly ever does, I always wind up watching it to the end. It's like, I've seen this too many times, but every minute of it is so much fun, as we're finding out a minute at a time. So
a minute at a time.
Royana, thank you so much for being on this. We've got to have you back on. We will talk some more Hollywood stuff.
Gosh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. And listen, call me if you want to unburden anything talk about bad dates, talk about harmonicas or Brill cream. I'm here.
I'll put you on speaker.
Royana, I feel like you and I need to go to Texas and take Jim out for surf and turf. And cocktail.
You know what? You're
I
right.
feel like
that would make everything better.
That would be the therapeutic moment.
I'd be fine with tomato soup and rice.
Don't sell yourself cheap, my friend. Don't do it.
Right. Yeah, we'll have the soup. Okay. Royana and I will split a bowl of soup, because that's all we'll be able to afford. But Jim, it's
and
all,
no movie.
No, no movie.
I'll just be sucking on an airplane wheel or something. Yeah. But wow.
We'll pick you up after the movie.
Wow. Well, it's been fun. It's been great talking about the Rocketeer movie. Somewhere in all this we did. I know we talked about it. I have this feeling that somewhere in here we talked about the movie, but
we did.
We will be talking about it some more. And if all of you folks would like to be talking about this some more, actually, especially with Royana, you can reach. By the way, Royana has quite an internet presence. You can go see her. RoyanaBlack.com has her career and highlights and pretty pictures of her. And you're very you are a charming person, and you look great on the screen, as anyone who hires her and puts her in a movie will find out. So
10%, Jim. 10, even 15 at this point.
I just want
20.
Six row seats at the premiere. That's all I want. That's where 6 row center. If you ever want to, perfect. Done. Okay, well, we'll see you there at RoyanaBlack.com. You can also find her on Twitter at Royana Black. Okay, go look for her, because she's got an interesting Twitter feed, and I'm sure she'll be talking a lot more about the Rocketeer. So if you check in, read her
totally
feed. Yes, so sign up for her. Also, we're available at Twitter. Of course, the name is Rocketeer Minute. So we're out there. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Rocketeer Minute, and the big site RocketeerMinute.com, where we've got all these previous episodes that you can catch up on that you missed, thinking, wow, these people are so fascinating. I have to go back to episode 1 and find out what's going on. And plus we get Billy Campbell in here sometimes. So we do have lots of actors on here, not just for Royana, but we even have Billy. So there's all the people, the in people come here.
There's something for everybody.
Exactly. So
who threw the wheel?
Yeah. That's coming up soon.
Yes. See?
We're going to find out.
Tune in each day.
We'll
find out.
The queen of callbacks.
Yes.
Yes. So
who the mysterious wheel tosser was.
Yes, we will find out very shortly. So, but you got to check back with us. And to check back with us automatically, go over to iTunes, go over to Google Play. You can grab just type in Rocketeer Minute in iTunes or Google Play. Find us, hit subscribe, and boom! Every day you'll get the Who Threw the Wheel episodes coming up. So you'll never be at a loss. You'll never be stressed out like somebody ordering surf and turf.
Oh.
But we have lots. Yes, it's not a sad note. I look fondly on it back in the past. It makes me appreciate the present, so that's good. But we will be talking some more about this movie that we've been watching. I think we will try to focus. But we'll join us here tomorrow, which is Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday. Okay, join us here, and I think we're going to have somebody else on tomorrow. So check back here on the Rocketeer Minute. So until next time, over and out.